Nobody.
Sunny Bonani, and you are watching God's Youth Today. Stay tuned.
This is Timothy Michelle, and you're watching God's Youth Today. Enjoy.
Hello there, how you doing? It's your boy DC Success, and you're watching God's Youth Today. Stay blessed.
Hey guys, this is Tanaka Mangere, and you are watching God's Youth Today.
What's up guys, this is your boy Ngoni Vikaudo Mukanan, and welcome back to my channel. So now we're gonna cruise off from where we left off as our youth ruined dating. Now on my last video I talked about early child marriages. I had to get those stuff out of my chest because it's something that is happening, something that is bad. Thank you for those who reached out, you're amazing. So we're gonna talk about this as our youth really ruined dating. So obviously people are going to ask, what's your basis in, like, when you say ruin, what are you trying to say? What have we ruined? What's your basis of ruining? How, like, and stuff like that. So we're Christians, okay? I'm saying this based on Christian ways, more or less biblical ways, because we are God's youth today. So we have to walk in a manner that God expects us to. He's our Father. He's looking over us. So here's our youth, like my generation of youth. Have we ruined dating in the sense that, according to God's expectations, according to the expectations that we carry as believers, have we dropped out? Have we dropped the guard down on our moral or ethical values and stuff like that? So basically that's where the ruining part is coming off. So I'm gonna start off by something that people suggested I should get some facts right. What I had to do is say, okay, I have to look at relationships in categories, to say in this kind of area there is something, because in each area contributed whether to the downfall or to the uplifting of relationships, is it? So they are like three major areas that I've said, three major areas that I could just come up with. The first one is social media. The second one is role models, the ideal role models for for youth that are dating. What do they look up to and stuff like that? And the third one has to do with cultural changes, really. So those are the three major areas that I'm just gonna I'm not saying they are the only ones, but I'm saying they are the ones that have really contributed greatly for me to make a discussion out of these things. So the first thing, like I said, social media. You hear people say do it for the gram, like do it for the gram. It's not do it. I actually saw a phrase that was actually catchy. Do it for you, don't do it for the gram. So there are many relationships that have to be portrayed in some way that is not really true. You see people posting nice pictures and stuff like that, cute bay couples, bay goals and stuff like that, and yet those people are actually having challenges in their relationship. And so that's just one example. So I'm just gonna just try and say a lot about this thing. So in other words, social media, to a certain extent, when people try and pose themselves in a certain way that they are not, it causes a little bit of delusion to the person who's watching. So the thing that happens is you begin to have this appearance, this image that you have to live up with, and that it's not really true to personality. So now you have to keep up appearancing that way. You have to keep up appearance with that kind of way, but that this is not you. So I believe definitely that is to affect your dating, because ultimately you're gonna break if you stretch a rubber band on two opposite ends. It will break because you're trying so much to do this, and yet your life is going the other way, and you're trying to bring these two together, but because there's pressure already on you to make this kind of effort, and another pressure for you to make this kind of effort, you ultimately break. So social media, to a certain extent, I'm just gonna say this in a nutshell, guys. I will talk details and then provide some sort of evidence and stuff like that. But what I'm gonna do, just for now, is just say social media has done more harm in terms of dating, because people are now trying to do things that they are not supposed to do for the sake of social media, be it on Facebook, be it on Instagram, be it on YouTube, be it on whatever. I'm not against uploading babe pics and stuff like that. It's actually good. I actually love it, but that they for that. I really love it. I really actually adore it. But if you knew that it's straining you, it's making you do things that you're not supposed to do, then you should rather look at yourself and say, what should I do in my relationship that can save my relationship? Because it's really tiresome for you to post a pic with another person. With Bear today, and then in the next 3 months you're posting with another person. After you're posting with another person, like, people see the trend and will be like, wow, so this person has been with so much people in a very short space of time. It's not really about showing forth, but you have to show forth once you know that this is where you're going. And I'm sure many people now do it privately, which is good, but there's always that kind of pressure with social media. Now, there's this side of social media that I didn't want to talk about, but I actually have to say it because it's true. I've heard from the fellas. I'm a fella, so I know what I'm talking about. That that there are ladies who actually post pics of themselves. I'm not saying it's wrong or whatever, of themselves, selfies and what that seem revealing, and stuff like that. So what happens to the guys is they see it, and instead of focusing on their relationships, it's like they'll be meditating a lot about what they saw on social media. So that's the element of how social media is ruining, because you begin to see like the standards of the things that you think you want, and you begin to compare them with what you have on the ground. And the same goes for the women as well, because ladies nowadays, they also look up, they see, the cars on social media, they see a guy with, driving Benz and stuff like that. And, Bay doesn't have a car, Bay doesn't have suits, Bay doesn't even have a job and stuff like that. And you begin to compare now. So, your expectations are not. So, social media causes friction in that way, because you begin to want to have something that you do not have. Basically, let me just say it. Cheating. This is where cheating starts. In terms of, for guys now, if you're a lady and you show interest to that guy who has a car and stuff like that, then that guy was like, they come easy, so he goes there, and then Bear finds out, and controversy, scandal, blah blah blah. People are shouting at each other. Sons of Pharaoh, sons of Delilah. Daughters of Delilah. So like people now have that kind of narration and stuff like that. So this is the element that I'm trying to bring out concerning how social media is ruined dating. I said I would go depth in it. I think the other two, I think I'll save them for another video where I talk about real role models and culture change, especially culture change. Basically when I post these videos, I assume I just have some people who look at them, like here in Zimbabwe, so that, like basically the SADC region, or like Africa, let me just say Africa. So we have kind of adopted the Western culture and stuff like that. So the way we do things now, it's almost as if it's similar. You see youth, like when I say Western culture, I'm talking about like states, and how in the United States of America, how basically things are, like the norm of things there. You can move in with your girlfriend, you can, you don't have to marry anyone. And then once it's over, you leave. It's now happening in Zimbabwe. Now, as God's children, really, is that the way? We understand that for you to live with someone, you have to actually marry that person, because if you're willing to stay with that person, it means you love them, right? So you have to marry and then you live as a couple. But, because the Western culture has already made it seem like there are always uncertainties to these things. So just, break up and then you move on, you're sleeping with another person. So I think, obviously, sex is a subject that we have to talk about. What does the Bible say? And the reason why I'm doing these videos is I'm also showing my side. I'm not trying to teach, like, because we already have people who can teach these things in depth. I'm just showing my side as a young person, like as a youth. Basically, that's the whole reason for these videos. I'm just a youth who is trying to voice out things that I see as a youth. Because I believe we've been corrected, we've been rebuked, we've been taught by our elders, that people who are more knowledgeable, people who have, been in marriages, like we have been in marriage for so long, that they can give us wisdom. But I also feel like I will also have to make a case for the young people, for the older generation to understand us as well. But right now I'm just saying out the clear things to say, okay, this is what is happening. And obviously it's not good. So we have to listen, guys. Yeah, I'm talking to you young people, we have to listen to what the older generation is saying. You actually have to be attentive and, do what they're saying. I'm sure you guys will do it, because I have to as well. There's no time to wait. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in into today's episode. So please do like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're just gonna be having these kind of talks, where we just let things off our chest. I actually have a lot of things that that I really thought were funny, but it seems they're actually genuine concerns from the youth today. So as an ambassador, that's what I'm doing for like godly youth, for like Christian youth. I view myself, not as a pastor, but like someone who is just there for the youth, a brother indeed. Thank you so much, guys.